Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the Ryder One crypto hardware wallet. It is a multi-key seedless solution for managing your cryptocurrency. The good people over at Ryder have sent me a demo unit, and I'm going to unbox it and get it set up for you guys. So let's jump in. So here's the Ryder One hardware wallet device. It comes with one recovery tag and a wireless charger and a travel pouch. This is the 2-pack of the recovery tag that they sent me along with this. So what's great about the Ryder One is that you can make as many backups as you want, even after the fact. Even after you have set up a configuration, you can always order more of these recovery tags and hide them in different locations and some in offsite locations. So it's a great solution for a newcomer that bypasses the seed phrase backup where you have to write it down. So it skips that part that's inconvenient and confusing for newcomers about having to write it down. You don't have to worry about writing it correctly or losing it. You've got multiple recovery tags that you can create and hide all over the place. And the biggest one is that with a Ryder One, you don't have to worry about someone tricking you into revealing your backup phrase. I hate to say this, but this is the #1 way that people lose their crypto. They get tricked into revealing their backup phrase. Or they take a digital picture of it, and then their personal accounts get hacked, and that picture is discovered by the hackers. So this is a great solution to the problem of backup phrases. So let's get going here. We'll go ahead and open the box. Oh, I cut into the seal just a little bit, but it does come factory sealed, tamper resistant. Okay, so it kind of opens like a book. All right, let's look at this side here. Okay, here's our pouch. Here's our USB cable. Okay, so in here is our manual and quick start guide. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. This is the wireless charger, pardon me. And this is the Ryder One. And this is that recovery tag that we're going to use to back it up. Very well presented box. I like that. So of course, you can use any USB-C cable. I have a charging brick over here. In addition to this device having a seedless backup, it's also air gapped to a certain extent, right? Because it doesn't have any cables. The USB is only for the charger, right? So it charges wirelessly, and it uses NFC. Here we go. Let's go ahead and download the app. Let's see what they've got in here. This is pretty cool. I am among the first batch users. I believe there's only been 1,500 of these distributed since the beginning of the year. That was the initial batch, more since then. But not too many of these out in the wild yet. So I will join this group so I can share my thoughts. Of course, I'm sharing my thoughts here. All right, you've got the warranty information, the user manual. So this is for the instructions, and this is for downloading the app. We'll put this aside for the moment. So it's just a long hold here to boot it up. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and download the Ryder One app. All right, so I'll go ahead and download this from the App Store. All right, we'll go ahead and launch here, and then we're just going to follow the instructions on the wallet here. We'll get started. In addition to the virtually unlimited backup tags that you can create, you can also have a recovery contact. So right here it says become a recovery contact. That would be if my wife or my kids wanted to download this app, then they would be another way of backing up the device in case I need to do a restore. So that's another channel. There are other online keyless options like the BitKey or the Blockstream Jade, but these rely on an online oracle at the company's server somewhere. So to me, that's not self-custody. You need to have full control over your private keys. You don't need to rely on a server somewhere for your backup. So with the Ryder One, you can just use recovery key tags if you want, or you can use the recovery channel, the recovery contact with friends, people you know and trust. It's a great backup solution. So we'll go ahead and get started here. We'll agree to the terms of service. So of course you could lose your phone too. And if you lose your phone, you'll just repair your new phone with the old device. But in today's case, we're setting up a brand new one. This is where we would do the recovery if we had a recovery tag. But we're setting it up as brand new. We'll give it a name. Might be a little overdoing it, but that's fine. You can name these whatever you want. All right, the device is turned on. We'll hit continue. And now we're going to pair it up with our app, right? So I have the device on and ready to pair. All right, so they want us to hold it right above the center of the top of the phone. We'll hit pair Ryder One. And there we go. All right, and now we choose our passcode on the device. All right, and then we'll confirm that. All right, and then the next step, create our wallet. So we'll click create here. Now it's generating that private key. Notice it's doing this completely offline. It's not connected to anything. All right, and then the next step, we want to back it up to one of the tags. So I've got the tag here. So we'll do backup, and they want us to put this behind. All right, that worked. All right, and now we'll back up the wallet on the paired phone. All right, we'll tell them that we've chosen the passcode. We've created the wallet. We've backed up the tag. And now we'll back up the wallet on the phone. So again, we're going to hold this to the top here. Back up now. Let's hit back up on this. Okay, now we're ready. Back up now. And we're done. So we can back up the phone to iCloud. This is just another way of backing up the configuration. Okay, and then we'll hit Access Wallet here and Access Wallet here. Well, the setup was really easy. Let's hit Receive and see what they've got here. Oh, they want me to go ahead and run the update. So let's run the update. This will be the latest firmware, OS 1.3.0. We'll hit Download Update. We need to make sure the Ryder One is turned on and unlocked. Press Start Update. Place the Ryder One over the phone. I'm just going to put this down, make it easier for me. All right, so we'll hit Start the Update, and then we're going to need to wait till it gets to 100%. Okay, the update is starting, and there we go. We're updating the device. All right, we'll just keep the Ryder One in position. It says that it's going to start and restart a few times, so don't be alarmed. Okay, there, it's starting to pick up the pace a little bit now. Okay, looks like we did it. Okay, now it's installing. Now that it's completely downloaded onto the device, I don't have to hold it close to the phone while this is installing. Okay, so the download and install is done. So let's restart our device. All right, it wants the passcode and the wallet's updated. Let's tell the app that we're done. All right, and then to verify, we're going to tap, and we're ready to roll. Going forward, you'll probably have the latest firmware on your device when you get it, so you won't have to go through that major update anymore. They'll just be smaller ones. All right, so I have a 0 balance here. Let's see what happens when we hit receive. Okay, so we've got several to choose from here. Stacks, Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin. There's the Bitcoin address. I can even copy it into my clipboard if I want to do it like that. I'm just going to run over to Kraken and buy a little Bitcoin and drop it in here. All right, so I'll just buy a little Bitcoin. Let's do 50. We'll just do a small test here. All right, now that we've got it, I'm just going to withdraw to my Ryder One on the Bitcoin network. And I need to add a new address. I copied that Ryder One address into my clipboard. All I have to do is just copy here, then drop it in here. And I'll name this one. All right, I just need to confirm that withdrawal address. My email. Go back here, and then we'll go ahead and just send that Bitcoin over to Ryder One. And we got the Ryder One address here. And there we go. You can see there that I withdrew my Bitcoin. And then we can go back to the Ryder One app, and we'll just wait for that to arrive. All right, while I'm waiting for that Bitcoin, I'm just going to let the device charge. Pretty nice. You just place it here on top, and it tells you that it's charging. So it comes with the wireless charger. So the Ryder One is striving to give you kind of a complete solution at a decent price. So they've priced their device to be about the same as the Trezor Safe 7 and the Ledger Flex. And neither of those devices come with the wireless charger. So they're trying to compete on that. All right, I like this little tag though, but it didn't ask me for a password or PIN. So the device, the little backup device is not PIN protected. So you want to make sure you put that in a secure location. All right, so adding another backup is really easy. Let's go ahead and add another backup while we're waiting for that Bitcoin. All right, so you can see I have two other backups here. And to get into adding another backup is really easy. So we just swipe over here to tap safe, tap that, and say create a new backup. And we're going to use recovery tag. All right, and now we'll go ahead and back up. So they want us to hold this to the back. And then bam. All right, so backups are just a breeze, definitely. And then you can go over here to the settings. And if you want, you could write down a seed phrase. Now, I don't recommend that because it's not necessary. We've got these backup tags, and we can buy as many as we want. So we've got an unlimited amount of backups. I'll put a little bit of Solana in here as well. So if you want to send something from a desktop platform, you can just share this. So I'll go ahead and share that address with myself. All right, and then I've got the Solana address. I can send it from a desktop solution. If I want to send it from my desktop Coinbase or my desktop wallet, I can transfer some Solana into this wallet, which I'll go ahead and do that. All right, I can see the Solana has come in. I decided to send some Solana because I know that's much faster than Bitcoin. Bitcoin can take a while when you're withdrawing it from an exchange. It's usually because of the exchange, not the wallet. All right, and you can see that the Bitcoin has hit the wallet now. So that's it. I showed you a couple ways to make deposits. I do want to show you an outgoing and how you use the device for that. I'll go ahead and use Solana because it's a little faster. I will hit send here. It wants an address. So I'll just go over to my Kraken account. All right, I'll tell it that I want to make a deposit of Solana. Choose Solana here. I'll get the address, copy it into my clipboard, go back over to the Ryder One, and I'll just paste in that address. All right, and it wants me to create a new contact. I can do that. I'll just call this one Kraken. All right, we'll add that to the address book, and now we're ready to roll. I'll go ahead and send it all. It's just a small test amount. We'll hit continue. I don't need the tag. And there we go. A nice little readout there. So I'll get the device. I'll enter the PIN. Okay, we'll approve. And it wants me to hold it here above. All right, and then here's the approval process on the device, right? The device is the private key. Nothing will happen until I approve on the device. All right, so we'll hold to approve, and then we tap the phone. All right, and then finalize, we'll tap here and hold the device to the phone. And there we go. Sounds good. All right, so sending and receiving is easy peasy with the Ryder One device. The setup was very easy. The only part that was tedious for me was the update. it wasn't hard. It was just I had to sit there and wait for it. And as I mentioned, going forward, they'll be sending out these devices with the latest firmware. All right, so I showed you how to set up the wallet, how to deposit a couple of cryptos, how to send crypto out, showed you how to make the backups. All right, now that you've seen me set up the device, let's talk about comparisons. What makes the Ryder One unique is its seedless solution. Now, I mentioned that you can use a seed phrase if you want to. It will show you the seed phrase that you can write down if you want to. But for newcomers, it's best to bypass this option and just use its intended backup solution, the backup tags. If we want to compare the Ryder One to a Tangem wallet, Tangem also has a great seedless solution. This is the biggest obstacle to newcomers. Not only is a seed phrase inconvenient to write down and manage, most people lose their crypto by getting tricked into revealing their seed phrase. So there are a lot of companies out there looking for a seedless solution. And Ryder One does a really good job with it. The main difference between Tangem and Ryder One is that Ryder One has a screen, so you can verify your transactions on the device. This is very important. So now let's compare the Ryder One to some of the other multi-key solutions like the BitKey or the Blockstream Jade. Both of these are also seedless with multi-key, but they have online oracles that hold backups for you. I don't consider that self-custody. A self-custody wallet should allow you full control over all the backups, and I shouldn't have to rely on an online backup. Now let's compare it to some of the other major brands. So as I mentioned in the setup, it comes in at $249, which is the same price as the Trezor Safe 7 and the Ledger Flex. As you saw during the setup, there is limited crypto support at the moment for the Ryder One. So compared to those two, it's not quite as flexible. So we've only got about 4 cryptos, but they will be adding more. And then I also mentioned that the Ryder One also comes with the wireless charger, whereas the Trezor Safe 7 and the Ledger Flex do not come with a wireless charger. So you get a little extra value there. And they do a great job of keeping it relatively air-gapped. There are no cables, there's no Bluetooth, there's no wireless. It does use NFC, but that's an advanced protocol for near-field communication, right? So nobody that's outside your window is going to be able to intercept that. And I feel that because of its ease of use of not having to scan QR codes back and forth, it does have an advantage over other air-gapped solutions like the Elipal wallet or the Keystone 3 Pro. So those are my comparisons. If you can think of anything else that has come up in your mind, throw it down in the comments, and I'd be happy to address those concerns. If you have any other questions, throw them up in the comments, and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.